so proud and excited to be part of the United Nations Day of celebrating the International Day of Families. I was able to talk about involved fatherhood and how we can encourage more involved fatherhood around the world, because involved fatherhood is good for almost everyone. It's good for children, it's good for mothers, it's good for communities and economies, it's good for businesses, and it's good for dads themselves. So I was able to bring that message along in this wonderful day with all these great presenters on the International Day of Families here at the UN. When you have fathers who are able to both economically provide, or at least co-provide for their families, and be involved fathers who can be there to do some of the work of the household, to care for their children, to be a positive influence on their lives, this really makes the families stronger. And the family really is the core of so many societies. And when the families are supported and when families are strong, then the positive ripple effects go throughout the rest of society.
El tema de familia es muy importante, y bueno, ahora que estamos celebrando el aniversario del Día de la Familia, pues, y sobre todo cómo la familia puede contribuir a adquirir o a llegar a las metas, 4 metas, que son la de pobreza, acabar con el hambre, mejorar la salud y mejorar también la igualdad de género. Han habido trabajos muy interesantes que han hablado de distintos aspectos. Por ejemplo, la juventud. Yo hablé sobre la cuestión de la juventud y cómo es importante hacer investigación, que hay muy poca investigación en América Latina sobre la relación entre padres e hijos, y cómo esta relación entre padres e hijos puede fomentar no solamente bienestar en los jóvenes, sino también en los padres. Puede generar capacidades, que ese es un tema muy importante para pues, lograr salir adelante y dar también poder contribuir a tener sociedades más sustentables, y también puede ayudar a tener una perspectiva y a desarrollar una cultura de los derechos humanos, que eso es muy importante también. Entonces, la relación entre padres e hijos es un tema que debe de ser investigado, debe de ser analizado, deben hacerse estadísticas sobre ese tema, y de esa manera poder incorporar la información que se obtiene para el diseño de políticas públicas que sean explícitamente dirigidas a la familia.
We've had a great expert conversation this morning about fertility and the role of family policies. We are focusing the work of the day around SDG 3 on healthy families and well-being. We've just had our open public session where we had 5 speakers talking about how family policy will influence health and well-being as part of meeting the Sustainable Development Goals. We've talked about family policies that protect children, providing safe environments. We've talked about policies that facilitate the intergenerational transfer of resources. We've talked about policies that facilitate relationship building between families and children. It's been really informative. And we've talked about work-family balance and health. It's been an excellent session, and plenty more information to come over the next day and a half.
What I was talking about was work-family balance and health outcomes, and that's very important for the outcome of SDG 3, which talks about health, universal health. And as I was talking about, for you to achieve universal health, the family, you have to take into consideration the role that workers with care responsibilities have to be able to reconcile that, because work-family balance have widely documented implications for health, for child health, for adolescent health, for women's health. It's linked to high levels of depression. It links to physical health, fatigue, and all those kind of things. So if we don't manage to reconcile work and family demands, it's going to be very difficult to adequately achieve SDG 3.
I'm really proud to be here today at the UN talking about family policy and its support for the Sustainable Development Goals. In Australia, we've actually learned a lot from some policy mistakes in the past that have really had negative impacts on families and family well-being. We've learnt from the terrible things that were implemented in relation to our Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander families that led to the stolen generations, where children were taken away from their parents And we've also learnt from the family mistakes that we made in relation to not supporting single mothers and in fact forcibly removing them, and we've now apologised for forced adoption. And we now need to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes in relation to current policies and processes. And we need to really think about things like our out-of-home care policies and how we put in place supports, be they prevention as well as early intervention for signs that families might be struggling, and put those services in place and make sure that the services that are being put in place are ones that are evidence-based, and that we grow the research around what works in terms of family support, so that we can really implement a public health approach to get the supports to all families, no matter where they are, no matter what the level of need is.
Я представляю Институт по социальному развитию в Женеве, и мне очень приятно присутствовать на этой встрече. Меня пригласили в качестве эксперта для того, чтобы выступить с докладом по поддержке семьям в странах с транзитной экономикой. И я надеюсь, что те рекомендации, которые мы предлагаем вместе с другими экспертами, будут учтены государствами и помогут семьям лучше адаптироваться к современным условиям, особенно в контексте экономического кризиса и усиливающихся конфликтов.
Research shows that development is very, very difficult to obtain without families. That's why I think it's very, very good that we are having this celebration today of the International Day of Families, focused on evidence-based policies and on research, because we need to know how to help families more in order to help individuals and in order to help the whole society.